Hello and welcome, GMAN Division 5B, to your Precap. It is me, your host, Gunnerside, with my co-host, Lozra.
Hey.
And yeah, let's just take a look at the teams. First off, we have the Lizardmen. This is Hexotl Braves, coached by Night Visitor. That's a strength 3 skink.
Oh,
and a
God.
block one. Another team with all of its TV skinks. Yeah, those are some interesting skinks. Block
He's got 2 Bloxaurus already, so
yeah, I mean that's pretty good.
it's pretty good. Only
and
3 skinks.
I mean, the rest of his
He's got all the
Saurus
pieces he
aren't too
needs.
far behind. Like,
oh yeah, it's a nice SPP there.
Pretty.
I guess it's just one of those where like his skinks have eaten a couple of his MVPs. The strength 3 is okay. It feels a bit bloaty. Depends if you can roll doubles and get block or wrestle or something.
Yeah, I mean wrestle on that strength 3 could be pretty huge.
Yeah, but it's a long way. It's a good start though, because the last thing you want is to lose your strength 4 and strength 5 early. As lizards, you want them all there to get the MVP and the occasional casualty. Yeah, it's a good start.
Yeah. Fruit of the Tomb by Bungeeman. It's the undead with what I'm guessing is an MNG ghoul. Let's take a look. Yep, MNG. So that is very nice. That is an impressive ghoul already.
It's got a guard though.
Guard.
It's a good bit of guard.
I
like that. I do like guard because if you're undead, you want to guard. You need a bit of guard because you've only got 2 mummies, so it's good. Got your sure hands, large ghoul. Yeah, I don't know. He seems to have loaded all his SVP onto the sure hands ghoul, which is natural because it's a good piece early on. But I think he's definitely going to be looking to get his second white from SVP, get some touchdowns on them. Fantasy pass the 5 or 6.
Maybe try and hand off the ball instead of only scoring on strawberry.
Definitely. You've got the ghoul is fine for now. You want to be focusing on the maybe get the guard ghoul a little bit of SVP, just get him like block, or maybe just get him blocked so he lives a bit longer. Because obviously I don't think the ghouls don't have regen, do they?
No.
They're a bit weak on the team.
They are.
But yeah, we want to see. It's interesting to see how he goes with the white levels. That's where undead teams seem to vary a bit when you get to what you do with your whites when you hit the levels. So it's interesting.
Promising start though. We will be blazing through these teams quite quickly because it is a rookie division, so there isn't a whole lot to say about them in general.
Yeah, it's fairly early doors.
Right, Luke Lazy's Dark Elves with these 2 niggled linemen.
Oh,
luckily though, the rest of his team.
I know he complained about getting diced, didn't he? In the clan Discord, he was like, "Oh, I failed on my dodges."
Yeah, so, like 44% failed dodge ratio.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I got 44% on dodges with dodge." We'll see what the Orc coach says about that. Anyway, yeah, he's got a couple of. Nothing spectacular. I regret putting 10 shares of stock in him because he's a clanmate already. 2 loss.
Brutal.
It's pretty vanilla Dark Elves, isn't it? There's not too much to say at the moment.
No, but I mean, Dark Elves are one of those teams where vanilla is fine. The Super Bowl winner this season, they won with a basically completely vanilla team, only because they had Mass Blodge. Like, Mass Blodge can't be underestimated.
Blodge is good in Rebel because everyone in Rebel's greedy and doesn't take tackle, and doesn't take wrestle, they just take kill skill. So Blodge is basically. And he's already got 3. He's got Blodge on a lineman as well. That's definitely a case of the lineman's clearly had 3 MVPs there. He's not going to be happy with that.
Give him kick next.
At least they're all on the same lineman, so you can ding him up a bit.
All right. Well, Tunnel Snakes. This is Great Guards Skaven. That's pretty good looking, really. Except for the lack of levels on the Blitzers, Storm Vermin.
Yeah, the lack of SPP on the Blitzers as well. You really want to be trying to get force those Storm Vermin. because it's a bit hard as rats, because you want to score with your gutter runners because they're quick, and it's so much easier to score on the RG4, but you need to try and find those 5-turn drives where you'll storm vermin into scoring positions without getting killed. It sounds impossible, but you can do it, especially in Greenhorn. I think he's missed an opportunity there, because in Greenhorn there's definitely a lot more SPP oriented, put it mildly, and that's when like Greenhorn is the time to get those vermin touchdowns in, because nobody's gonna try and make crazy plays and risk losing your position on Greenhorn that early, especially if they've already got SVP. So you might find it a bit difficult as the season progresses to get those Storm Vermin leveled. Because I remember in my div, we had another Skaven team that wasn't mine, and his Storm Vermin got Mighty Blow maybe week 9, week 10, and it was a real battle for him. So hopefully we can see some Mighty Blow coming in over the next couple of weeks, and it'll all get a bit easier. Otherwise, he might struggle a bit in this div.
Right.
Also, I don't like the thrower. I'm not a fan of throwers. Unless they roll Agi up, I'm really not a fan, because it's just
heard
unnecessary.
The strategy about Skaven coaches is starting with a thrower, but when he dies, you don't replace him.
That's true. But I would argue that what if your thrower gets your MVP? I'd rather have that MVP go on a Gutter Runner or a Blitzer. It's a debate. I think yours is probably the more common sense approach. But if I was going into Greenhorn week 1, I'd probably run without a thrower and try and just power level as much as I can. And then if I don't get the levels, just re-roll again and start in a completely fresh div.
Right. Norse, 17 weeks of suffering. Major bites team.
Yep.
A whole 14 players.
And this is an interesting team. I'm going to look forward to watching this team.
Is this the lineman league?
This team. It's an all lineman Norse. He's got the bench. He's got 4 dirty player pieces. Unfortunately, one of them's strength 2, and that is definitely a sacking, in my opinion. You don't want a strength 2 Norse.
You get rid of him.
They're bad enough for it. No, it'll be interesting to see what he does. Whether he goes full on, inducement Norse with 30 players. Be interesting.
How did this?
I don't know. What do you think of this?
How did this player get through the the screening for names? I fucking hate rats. Player number
Skaven,
13
I think, this week as well. He's got. Has he got an Alter Stadium Enhancement? The book.
I don't know. We'll take a look at that later.
I think he's got a Stadia. I don't know what enhancement that is on the REBBL.net. But he's put cash into a enhancement and an APO at the expense of all his positionals. So we'll see. It could be very interesting to see some of the games.
Yeah.
He's already got sure hands, so that's the hard part done. You've got to tackle. You've got as much tackle as he has as much tackle as some of our Bash teams in Div 3 have. And he's
more
played 4
than
games.
some of them.
So yeah, that's true. And some of those teams have played a lot of games as well in Div 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Major Bite's REBBL mainstay. He's played a lot of Blood Bowl. I'm sure he knows what he's. So who knows? Maybe they might sneak in. Top. We'll see how the allocations go, because they might give more challenger tickets to Div 5. Maybe they were talking about rejigging it. So who knows?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Are we going to do? We're going to pick our top 2 coaches for this.
Yeah,
div.
top 3 coaches, whatever. Yeah.
Top 3. I don't think this is a top 3 team because it's got no positional.
I highly doubt it.
It might cause some upsets.
Although,
it would be hilarious if it did, though. I can't wait to see.
I mean, can't underestimate mass block, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mass block at this level of TV is almost as good as having blodged at this level of TV.
Right.
So
Pork Squad, pending level. God damn it. Here we go.
The schedule's out as well. There's no excuses. I guess they just weren't.
Maybe they played already. By the way, 4 of you guys have played already.
These are the teams that beat Look Lazy.
4 of you guys have played already, and that's not okay.
It's not okay. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. It's the first day of the week.
It's not
Everyone wants to play. Some of these guys haven't played Blood Bowl for like 7 weeks, so they just want to get out there on the pitch.
Just
make
the playoffs.
Yeah, playoff Orc team. I don't know, two block on the Black Orcs already. Some would say the correct Orc lineup where you go all your Black Orcs, all your Blitzers, and fill out the rest with armor 9, and just bash.
Yeah, this one doesn't have a thrower, which is interesting.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he'll be carrying on a Blitzer or a lineman, probably a Blitzer. What injuries? Is it a niggled Blitzer already?
Missed next game.
Is it missed next game? Okay.
Yep. So, I mean...
That's not bad.
So he has the double block on the Black Orcs. Which is obviously great. Good. And then he got dodge on Miss Piggy. So surely that's his carrier.
That should be his carrier, yeah.
So sure hands.
His challenge is going to be keeping the development even. You don't want Miss Piggy bloating up and getting to like level 4 or 5.
Yeah.
At the expense of your other players, which might happen.
We need to hand off quite a bit.
Yeah. Thing is, he's got the 2 block already. Orcs are a good strong team, so he should find himself, turn 7, might be able to get a nice black Orc handoff done. If he's got a reroll left as well, he's got a good amount of block at the start. So yeah, there's a lot. Again, you say there's a lot in Div 5, but yeah, this is a good, solid start to an Orc team.
Yep. And
hopefully, it's the only way is up for them. And they've won. They beat, I would say, the better team, the Dark Elves, the more. He got the Blodge. I don't know how he did it, actually. It's 2-0 win, pretty conducive, convincing. What's the word? Sorry.
Convincing.
Convincing win over, convincing win over the Dark Elves, who I would have picked. So, who knows? If he might even be a top 3 contender if his team develops well enough. But we'll see.
The Orcs on Tour by Razda. Another Orc team.
Another Swede.
Didn't even know that.
Ooh, and this is the alternate Orc team where they've picked up a Troll, a Thrower, and 2 Goblins.
What a mess. Please.
He's got all his blitzers though. He's got all his important positionals as well.
What?
I want to know where he's got the money from.
I want to know why he didn't sort his team.
Everything done. He must have had a very good greenhorn in terms of winnings if he's been able to pick up this sort of team.
He has 2 rostered goblins.
He does have 2 rostered goblins. That is a choice, and one of them's eaten an MVP as well. If you look, he's on 5 of 6, and that's really not what. Is that a movement up Blitzer?
It is.
I think it is. Yeah. So that's a good start to Blitzer. None of his Black Orcs have much SPP. And maybe that means he started with the Troll and then 3 Black Orcs, but the Troll doesn't have any SPP either, so it's a bit of a tough one. He's got tackle on a Blitzer, he's got block on a Thrower. Apart from that, he's already got guard. He's got 1 guard. It's definitely, I would say, the second best Orc team in this league. So in terms of pure stats and like levels, it's not ideal for the
Probably
TV,
not.
in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it'll do well in this?
I just can't see a Orc team with 2 rostered goblins doing that well.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're an armor 9 team and you've rostered 2 AB7s, and also their strength 2.
Yeah.
It's just, you're an Orc team and you're not playing with Orcs on the pitch. It's a bit of an issue.
And look at his team value.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. It's quite rostering the Troll already puts your TV up quite a bit. Like, imagine if that Troll was a line-up, all of a sudden, the TV looks a bit more reasonable. It goes down to about 190-ish, maybe.
You get rid of the goblins, you get rid of the Troll, maybe. I don't know. I'm sort of not sure on the Troll, and all of a sudden.
I think yes, but I think we're assuming this is a green coach. Raz has clearly made the choice. Like, I want to run these Orcs, and then maybe if it doesn't work, I'll re-roll next season. So I think he's just going to have a go with it. Maybe it will work. I'm sure he plays Clan with Major Byron now. I've heard his name before. He's probably played a bit of Blood Bowl. So. It's not as if I'm just saying. It's not as if it's a brand new coach who's somehow missed the net on COD.
Yeah.
So I don't think. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't think he's going to listen to us and actually get rid of the goblins. I think he's going to stick with the goblins out of spite and just win games. Yeah. And then we'll come back after week 9 and we're like, oh, he's in 4th place.
Right.
Maybe 2 goblins is the right way to play orcs. Who knows?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how he does.
It will be. Yeah.
High elves.
It will be fun when he plays the halflings.
Oh yes. Throw off. High TV have high elves with a bunch of strength ups.
Cool. There's beefy elves. 1300 TV. After 4 games, it's very good.
Actually, this is 1320 TV. Because he's missing 1 player.
Strength up on the thrower. That's interesting.
People have a tendency to roll strength up.
I'll let you talk. You're the high elf expert.
Yeah, no. Like, there's been some discussion in our division about strength up first on a thrower, and it's a complicated discussion because on one hand, it makes the running game easier because you have a strength 4, thrower. On the other hand, you could have taken strong arm.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
it's quite similar to the do you take guard on your storm vermin debate in the Skaven channel. It seems to be everyone has a different opinion on it. But
no.
I mean, strength up is good. There's a reason it's hard to get.
The debate about guard on storm vermin is the equivalent of the debate on what to take first on a high elf thrower.
Well, now we've got all these race-specific discourse. We can just have massive, endless, circular debates about all these little things.
Oh, it's a great time.
God knows if you had them on regular chat, you just get yelled at. So
it's the truth. Either way, even though I'm not sure what I think about his thrower, the rest of his team actually looks really nice. He has the Mighty Blow Blitzer, which I think is really important, especially
that's a really good
in the elf mirrors. Like, having one single Mighty Blow piece just...
Yeah, exactly. It just completely... All of a sudden, you've got control. Like, they're playing around your multiplayer. And it's a really good thing.
Strength on the catcher is actually huge. Because you can go...
he's a vampire.
You can go, like, dodge, wrestle, strip ball, leap, tackle. That's how I'd build him. And I mean, that's a strength 4 leaper.
That sounds like an amazing... Yeah, strength 4 leap on a 3+.
That's...
And the thing is, because you've got the strength, so any other stat ups that you might happen to roll becomes so much better with strength. The part of them are obviously.
Yeah.
But, imagine if you rolled Agi up or something, or move. Like, that's a strength 4 Gusser runner, which is insane. He's got catch as well. Yeah, some really good pieces.
Good player.
This could be a top 3 team, sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely a contender. One to watch, certainly in the div. We'll have to see how he played. Yeah.
And then
apparently ones have been banned from their dice, according to the motto. So who knows? This could be a serious team. I like the names as well. Joseph Stalling is an eye catcher. Fidel Catcher. I like these names.
It's good.
I'm backing this team. I like a well-named team, and this is a well-named team. Excellent stuff.
All right, cool. Definitely want to keep an eye out for. One thick coat. It's Gramzilla with Chaos Dwarves.
Oh god, Chorfs. Here we go.
It's strength up Chorfs as well.
Strength up Chorf. We like that. But he's sacrificed his fellow blocker though. Look, he's got a movement 3 blocker, which I think is a sack.
It is, especially with 0.
Especially because he's got the cash as well. That should be sacked. I think we both expect to see him sacked and replaced before his next game with the cash in the bank. Break tackle first on a centaur, as opposed to maybe block.
I've seen people do it, and I don't hate it, but I'm not a huge fan because usually that's who you.
I think he just wants the early. I think he just wants the strength 4 safety early. I think that's what he's thinking with that because he hasn't. His hobgoblins haven't. Well, it's good. It's good that his hobgoblins hasn't gotten much of the SP, but that also means that you don't really have a safety if things go wrong. So maybe that's what he was thinking.
Yes.
Like if they do get past, you can just disengage him and come in for a strength 4 hit. So yeah, maybe that's the case. Still, it's good. It's a good start. A guard first on the blocker. I like it a lot. Again, we've just come from recapping a div where everyone likes to take Mighty Blow first skill. It's nice and refreshing to see guard first.
Yeah.
Because it's needed when you've got strength 3, you know. I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to seeing if the strength up can get. Because then you can get strength 4 blodge firm, and that is going to be absolute. That would take this team to the next level already.
Yeah, I mean that's. Congrats, you have a flesh golem with mutations.
Yeah. Again. So yeah, basically what we're saying is you guys need to start killing these chorfs because they already have potential. And we know how everyone in REBBL hates chorfs. And nobody wants, if they get to playoffs or something in their second season and Metal's casting, so why haven't you killed these chorfs? Well, it's your guys' fault, so get on it, please. We've got the 2 claw, well, I won't spoil it, but we've got some contenders to kill these 89 pieces. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Dwarves. Villainich. Tungsten Titans.
Yep.
Filthy dwarves.
They've already played.
They have.
I guess it's our fault for being on holiday.
What do we think? Well, first off,
what are your thoughts on this team?
Of course, the runner gets stats.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think I've ever seen a dwarf team that hasn't gotten stats on a runner.
It's because they tend to re-roll because they just get beaten. I think it's sort of availability bias, so you only ever see the dwarf teams that get stat freeze because otherwise everyone just gets bored of them.
Yeah, I guess that's
I think
true.
that's my theory anyway. But yeah, moving up. That's exciting.
Wouldn't surprise me. And a good mix of guard and mighty blow. It's pretty good.
Yep. He's got a level on a blocker already. He's got he's got 2 levels this game that he's played. So who knows? Maybe this could be a good team.
Yeah.
Will it be? The thing is, we know it's going to be a good team, but will it be a good team? And they've got a lot of blocks, so you'd think they would be, but they're also, I don't know. I don't know how I see dwarves because sometimes I think, they're fresh out the box. You've all got blocks, so you can do really well in your first season. But at the same time, they're only strength 3, so it's an issue. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this dwarf team could make a decent run of it? I mean, he's induced 2 players already. I think that's just because the Kivs led the 2 blows. But you reckon with a couple of inducements, the dwarf team can go well in general? Not just his team, but in general. I'm curious.
I think they can, yes. They have to get a little bit lucky. At least at the higher divisions, if they want to compete properly, they either have to have some stat freaks or some, either some really good armor dice or some really good levels. But at the lower divisions, they can definitely make an impact. I mean, mass block.
Yeah,
they can get guard really early.
Yeah, Div 5, you've got all this armor 9. You've got, I think the same way you've got a bias for Skaven. You think they're really good. I'm the same with dwarves. I think dwarves are actually very good in Div 5. So this is definitely looking, or in my eyes, this is already looking like a top 3 team.
Okay.
And we've only seen 1 game. I don't know. It's strong. It's just there's no teams that have come in here like weak. Everyone seems to have some good development already, so it means we're going to see some very interesting games, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Cool. Fantfox's Vampires, are they the highest TV in the division? They are.
They're up there, definitely.
They are just above, and that's probably why.
Yeah, actually 5 dodge bam. That is wow.
That is a start.
That is one hell of a start. This is let's have a look. Yeah, I mean I think he needs to get the pro online to start getting that reliability, but man, Agi 5 amps spooky. Because that doesn't, I swear that means it is hypno gazes get easier with Agi.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the hidden benefit really, getting those 2+ hypno gazes. All of a sudden everything just opens up so much easier. Let's see. 4 rerolls. He's running 4 vamps at the moment, so he's had a good enough greenhorn that he's picked up an extra vamp. He's got enough cash and he hasn't taken many casualties. This is a good start.
It is a very good start.
It's very exciting.
Very good record as well. 3-1-0 with rookie vamps.
With vampires, that is definitely one to watch. I mean, I feel like greenhorn games come with a caveat. because maybe not people aren't 100% trying to win. They're just trying to make choices for development as opposed to pure certain scores. But yeah, 3-1-0 unbeaten Vampires. That is a good record, and if he keeps it going, you know, full power to him, because vampires are hard to play.
They are.
But and the flip, obviously, that means they're hard to play against as well. I mean, you've seen it with Random Boy and GMAN Div 1 last season. People just Div 1 coaches were making some pretty interesting mistakes against his Vampire team because they weren't used to having 5 Hypno Gays on the pitch at the same time. So this is the dark horse, definitely the dark horse, because everyone thinks Vampires are too gimmicky to do well, but this is, you know, Agi 5 so early, good core skills, no casualties. It's all coming together very nicely for Fan.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Mr. Shady coaching the Bridge Burners. It's a Kislev team. Hello. Kislev team with an MA bust on one of the Blitzers. That's a pity.
Oh, that's a shame.
And quite a bit of levels on the catcher there. Not ideal.
Blodge.
I mean, he does have guard on the line, but it's pretty good.
He does. Leap guard, very good. I don't know, I'm not much of a Kislev player. I don't really know what's good and what's bad. Seems to just be fairly...
Guard equals good, standard. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Just rule of thumb there. He decides to go to Bear. Gets guard there as well.
Guard Bear.
Yeah, I mean, it's an alright team.
It's a quiet, it's a very quiet team. There's nothing screaming out like, oh my god, look at this.
Yeah.
It's just...
The MA bust is a pity, and he doesn't really have a lot of levels, not where it really counts. I mean, the catcher having blodge is nice, but you'd much rather have a blitzer with, say, block mighty blow or something.
Yeah. He doesn't have the killer sacking piece quite yet. And obviously he's only played 4 games, so you wouldn't expect it, but you almost always, when you play Kislev, they've got some sort of sacking piece that ruins your day, and this team doesn't quite have that yet. So I think they're going to struggle, and they did struggle. They lost their first game here against the Dwarves. And they were down, the Dwarves were down TV and were able to induce Eric's Boomer and Fire Blast against them. So it could be a very long season for the Kislev of just not getting the wizards they need, not getting the levels they need. Ugh, I don't know.
Yep. Usually Kislev become a little better at some higher TVs. We'll have to see how they do. We'll have to wait and see, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of that with these Div 5 teams, because, you know, Blood Bowl's a long game. You need to get up to that 1600 TV before you really start seeing fun plays.
Yep. Gastown Gangers, that's King Karen's team. Skaven.
Yeah, this is a nice looking Skaven team.
Oh, it really is. One of the better ones, I'd reckon.
2 claw straight away. I know Skaven coaches who've played like 3 seasons and not got a single double on their Stormbow, and he's got 2 in 2. That is very nice.
But that's not the only double. He has 2 heads on one of his gutter runners and then horns on the other.
Yeah, and he's got horns. This is the point we'll talk about. He's got the horns wrestle gutter, and he's also got a strength 3 gutter. And you know, that is pretty. I guess that means he's now gonna. Those are his 2 sackers now, basically.
Right.
And it kind of sucks because you really want the strength and the horns, because movement 9, strength 4 blitzes are something else entirely. But they sort of diluted it a bit, and you might find that the horns becomes a bit too much bloat. So if Blackout gets to level 5 or something and isn't super spectacular, you might see him recycle because you've got that strength 3. But yeah, this is an exciting Skaven team to watch. He's gone Fend first on a line.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Which I would, I'd definitely class that as interesting. When you've got skills like Dirty Play, he's still got a decent amount of players on the team. You know, he's not a loner army yet. He's got a bench, I think.
No
Am I counting correctly?
No.
9. Has it got 12 players?
Yeah, it's 12 players. I'm pretty sure.
So I think Dirty Player or Kit might have been better there myself, but you know, it minimises It doesn't even it doesn't even really minimize blocks against him, because on the line of scrimmage they'll just push him along.
Yep.
Unless you stick him in the middle. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe he's thinking we'll do protect 5 on my defensive drive, and I'll put him on one of the corners, and that sort of protects. But then you don't even want that, because you want them to follow up and base against your claw. So it's sort of it's definitely an interesting pick. We'll see how he goes.
Defend is really just a skill that shines when a lot of players have it.
Yeah.
When
exactly.
one player has fend.
It's why Brett's peasants are so annoying, because they all have fend, and you just can't get anything going. But when it's just one player, you can sort of play around it quite easily. He does have a niggled lineman. I believe that's a niggle on the lineman, who should probably be sacked.
I'd agree.
And he's got the cash for it as well.
He has the money, so
yeah, that should be a sack and a replace. It's nice though. It's a really good spot for Skaven to be in. Having a bench, having claw this early. You've got those orcs, those chaos dwarves. Those dwarves are they're going to be worried about this team. They're going to look at this team and think, we could lose. But we could also lose players. Yeah. That's the one thing that this team don't want at this stage, is to lose players. So this is a kill team. This is the team that everyone's going to be looking at, thinking, when do I play them? How am I going to get around this game?
Definitely a contender, I'd say.
Oh, definitely. This should, if they carry on with the level that Tier 1 team Skaven. I am biased because I did do Season 1 Skaven last time, but Season 1 Skaven can be pretty unplayable at times. Especially with teams like the Halflings that you're playing, you should be able to run up the touchdown diff. So yeah, playoff contender.
I mean, the cherry on top.
In week 1.
The cherry on top would be movement on the 2 heads, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing the team is really lacking in that one tournament.
Well, I don't even think you... Do you want the movement and the strength? Because I'd rather have the movement.
No, on the 2 heads player, not the strength player.
Oh, okay. I thought you said strength. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, and yeah. If you get movement up on Johnny Fast Feet, that is exciting. That is a good combination.
Yep.
That becomes, you might be able to get him to 60% consistency on your 1 turns, which is pretty ridiculous, to be honest. It's really well. I mean, they did that article, didn't they? I can't remember who it was, but they wrote an article complaining about how broken 1-turners are in Blood Bowl, and how they should, if they rebuilt Blood Bowl, they would get rid of 1-turners because they're that bad. So yeah, movement is all this team needs. Doesn't even need. It would be a cherry on top. It's a good core team, and we should probably stop talking about it, because the coaches are probably already sick of us talking about it.
Ha!
Because it's so good, right. And they know they've got to play it.
Right, so let's move on then to the last team, and this is Ernadar. Cookpot Cannibals. Is that how you spell that?
I've been looking forward to looking at this team. I love a good stunty team.
It is the Strength 7-3 stunties. With
Strength 7-3, Strength 3 Halfling. His tree, I believe that's an MNG on the tree.
It is.
Am I correct in that? Yeah, MNG on the tree. The mobile UI doesn't let me see what injuries are, but yes. So that kind of sucks, but also that means his TV is going to be fairly low for the next game, which is good. It means you could probably get Deep Root, which is a better tree.
That would be a thing, yeah.
He's got the altar, he's got players, so this could be a decent team. He's got... Let's have a look at this level 3 Halfling, where he's picked up Jump Up and Sprint, I believe that is. No, Surefeet.
Sure.
So yeah, that's an interesting combination there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I like it, but then again, I'm not a Halfling coach. I think I would have definitely gone either Sprint, Surefeet, or maybe Sidestep, Diving, Tackle.
Yeah.
Or maybe just Sidestep and then sack it at level 3, because it's quite bloaty.
There's a couple of pretty good levels.
That could be you could get a whole other Halfling for that 40 SPP, 40 gold. And that Halfling could foul. You don't want to be fouling with that Halfling anymore, because he's too valuable. So it sort of gimps you a little in that regard. But yeah, they could pick up a couple of wins. And as a Halfling coach, that's all you really want.
I mean, Halflings are surprisingly decent.
Yeah, they can be decent. I mean, look at what Monty was doing with his Halflings. He's picking off coaches left, right, and centre. There are some bloaty teams in this div, as we've seen. There's a couple of Kislev teams, some teams with really, really good development already. And obviously this is 5B, so these are teams that have gone to 4 games of Greenhorn and thought, yes, this is a good team, I want to take it through. And this really helps your halfling coach because, it's early doors, but he's probably going to get, he's going to have games where he's got 400 TV money inducement money, to play with, and that's what you need. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing this halfling team pick off a couple of coaches that weren't expecting them to do well.
Yep.
Blanket dodge is good, basically, because not many people have tackle yet, so it could be frustrating.
I agree.
So, yeah.
And I think that's the teams.
That's the teams. God, this is so much quicker than the other one.
Oh, it's so much quicker, like.
It's so good. Cool.
So nice.
So I guess we're predicting the rest of these games.
Yep. And
so obviously 2 games have already been played. Yeah, which isn't great.
Such is life.
Oh,
Cookpot Cannibals versus Blood and Tears. This is the halflings versus the vampires.
Right, how much money will the So the halflings will get about 400. No. 970, 170. Yeah, about 400 TVs worth of inducement with an altar. They're at home. So I could say, this could be a draw. This could be the halflings will be looking at this game thinking we can easily get points off of this with the inducements they have. So I'm going to say halflings. I'm going to back the halflings for this one.
I'm going to say vampires, honestly, because halflings are still at the end of the day a stunty team. This vampire team has, a bunch of good players. Well, 3 good players, let's be honest here. The vampire team has the insane agi and a very nice record to show as well. I mean, halflings.
They do have a good record.
Like, in general, teams with strength 2 ball carriers sort of struggle against vamps because what they do is they just hypnotize the corner, especially with that agi 5, it's 2+ basically. And you just run in and then you get however many dice on the ball.
Yeah. I would counter though that this is a vampire team that doesn't have any pro, and the halflings are probably going to be able to get bribes and deep root, and the thralls are obviously only AV7. So I would definitely not count the halflings out here. Vampires are not, this isn't. It's a good record, but he's not random boy. He probably will roll some bloodlusts at some point. So there's going to be opportunities, and as halflings, sometimes he don't even get an opportunity as a halfling coach to win a game. So I feel like this is going to be the halfling's going to come out 1-0-0 after this game and be top of the div, and it's going to be amazing. So please make it happen.
That would be great.
It's going to be good. Come on, Ernest. I'm backing you. I think this is a halfling win.
Halflings have a chance, but I think the vampires take it. Either way.
I agree though, once the vampire team gets some pro, they're going to look pretty unbeatable. Cool.
One Thick Coat versus Gas Down Gangers. The Chorfs versus the crazy Skaven we saw, and I think the Skaven are going to take this one. Because of all the teams to face, when you have, 2 Claw Blitzers, I think a team like Chorfs is pretty good, really.
I would say that the Chorfs do have inducements, so they will get a couple of babes, and that means with Thick Skull, there's probably going to be quite a few KOs off the claw as opposed to Kaz off the claw. So I don't think the Skaven are going to be able to remove the Chorfs as much as they'd want to. But yeah, I definitely still pick the Skaven because Chorfs are too early. They've played 4 games. They don't have the tools they need to win against Agi team yet. So yeah, Skaven pretty simple.
2+ Supreme Leaders versus the Exotal Braves. There's the High Elves versus the Lizardmen. Might be my bias speaking, but I think the High Elves take this. I just think the Lizardmen, they don't have the development in the right places, whilst the High Elves absolutely do.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a High Elf game. It might depend a bit on the kick, but let's see. Inducement wise, Lizards get about 150k. That is a wizard.
Yeah.
So, there might be a chance, but yeah, I agree. I think the High Elves have this a bit too far ahead. That's the thing with this being, 5B as opposed to 5G. Most of the teams here have got really good development, like abnormal development to start with. So, Yeah, high elves, definitely.
Okay. Fruit. No, wait. Yeah. The Orcs on Tour versus Fruit of the Tomb. That is Undead versus the weird Orcs.
Goblin Orcs, yeah, the alternative Orcs versus the.
I mean, Undead are really good at low to midish TV, whilst Orcs generally aren't as good. And this Undead team is looking decent.
I am going to predict a draw for this game. I think. Yeah, I do. I think because the Orcs, first off, the Undead only have one ghoul in this game, so that means they've only got their movement 6, and their whites have no skills.
They don't have any ghouls.
So I think it could well be a draw, this one. I don't think either team has the tools yet to outright win the game. Obviously, if someone gets dice, then obviously it'll go one way or the other. But I think I'm happy to back this as a draw.
I
don't think either team has the edge.
I think the Orcs might win this one, if I'm completely honest. I mean, missing the ghoul is actually a big deal, especially
it is a big deal. But they will get a wizard. They will get inducement. They've got 200. The Undead have 200 inducements, so that's probably a wizard and a babe, unless they see a star player they like.
That's true, actually.
So they will stick around. They'll stick around on the pitch because regen is there. The babe will be there. So the Orcs are going to have to try and get through. They have to try and go through the Undead. And when you've got a troll and your Black Orcs aren't leveled, you're susceptible to 1 in 9s. You're susceptible to really stupid rolls. And you've got 2 goblins who can be hit. I think we're gonna see some SVP on the whites this game. They're gonna go after the goblins.
Right. You know what? That's fair. You convinced me. I think the Undead probably take this one. And then lastly, we have 17 Weeks of Suffering versus the Tunnel Snakes. So Major Bite's team is so weird.
The normal Skaven, like the non-super Skaven versus the Lineman League team with an altar. So let's have a look, see what you can get with that altar. So
the altar, the altar matters because it's Norse.
Yeah, the thing is though, Major Bite could also get a wizard with this inducement. So,
but I don't
think he take the wizard or would he go? I think he'll probably go for star players. I agree.
Nah, he'd probably go bribe and a babe.
Yeah, that's true. Bribe and a babe, or maybe bribe and a saw, potentially.
Well, you don't really use the saw against AV7.
I was thinking more of a safety to deal with the blodge.
That's
actually no, he's got tackle. Never mind. Yeah, no, that's a stupid idea because he's got 2 tackle.
He has 2 tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he needs. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's not a spectacular Skaven team he's up against, and he's got a lot of dirty player.
And a lot of block.
Who knows? He does have a it's a shock. The Norse team does have a lot of block. But the Skaven have got a bench as well.
The Norse have Mighty Blow.
I'm gonna back the Rats. That's my bias, but I'm gonna back the Rats. They've got such a big. Norse. They've got a 2-man bench. I think if you're not winning with a 2-man bench as Skaven, when are you gonna win?
Nah.
And he's got the wrestle. He's got the Sackers. Yeah, I think this is a game. And also they're armor 7, so hopefully the Blitzers get a bit of SPP and get to that Mighty Blow.
I mean, I think Norse are gonna take this one, but I can't predict games properly with a team as weird as Major Bites.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. I think we'll be a lot better off next week when we've seen how they play.
Right.
Let's to see how good 4 Dirty player is. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to see if I can try and watch that game. It has been scheduled in. When is it being played?
Good question.
Tomorrow at 9 my time. So I'll try and watch that game and report back to see how they play. I don't know if it might not be streamed, but I'll try and catch it on the client.
Yeah.
And have a look. Cool. If I remember to do that, I don't know if I will.
So, 3 picks for people who will do well. I started last time, now it's your turn.
Yeah, my turn to go first. Right, so obviously my lock pick is the Gastown Gangers with the 2 claw. They're basically a setup already. I can see them. They're a sort of team that they're contenders to win, and they're also contenders if they get the development to make a dent in playoffs. You know, one season rat team. They haven't taken that much casualty. There's not much mighty blow in the division. This is a real opportunity for King Can to make a statement because I don't know who he is. Never heard of him. This is a time for him to get famous in Rebel and go deep with these rats. My second pick is going to be the Vampires because Jesus Christ, that Agi5 vamp is scary. The moment they get some pro, they could do really well. And my third pick this is where it gets interesting. I was going to pick Look Lazy, but then he lost 2-0. So I don't think I can pick him anymore. I'm going to go for the Dwarves. I'm going to go for the Dwarves as my third pick. Because I think Villy's a good coach. He's a good recapper anyway. And I think he'll do well.
Well, I'm really mad because he basically took what I was going to take. I think the rats are given. Because they look really good. The Gastown Gangers.
Good name as well.
I like the name.
That's another thing. It's a great name, Gastown Gangers.
I'm not gonna.
It just sounds like
Vampires.
It's something out of a mafia movie. Imagine a mafia movie set in like the underworld of Skaven. That'd be insane. I'd pay a lot of money to watch that.
I'd pay a lot of money to watch any war.
Johnny Fastfeet, Nick the Tires. Yeah, right. This is they're Super Bowl. So you heard it here first. Gastown Gangers, season 12 Super Bowl. Don't let me down, please.
Man, I'd like to see that. I don't think I'm gonna go for Blood and Tears because early vampires are so swingy. Like, he has a good record, he has the pretty good vamps, but it just takes one bad game, and it's like they just without the pro, without the because only 2 of the vampires have block, right? I think they might struggle against some of the more serious opponents here.
I did pick the halflings to beat them, so I don't know how strong my lock on the vampires.
That's sort of odd pick there from you.
No, I think Arundel's going to show me up here and beat the vampires and prove just that I'm so good at picking games. Sorry, carry on. I'm hijacking your segment.
Ha! I'm also not gonna pick the High Elves, even though I wanted to. It's just that even though it's a good-looking High Elf team, High Elves almost need to be like 1800, 1900 team value to really do well. Otherwise, they're just not as competitive as other teams.
Yeah, they're just unfinished.
They're just
unfinished compared to.
So it's a good start, but it's not a really impressive team yet. So I'm probably going to go with Undead. Undead are just really strong in the beginning. He has the guard ghoul, which is great. He has a level on the mummy, which is important, and he has a pretty nice carrier ghoul. And then as my third one, it's sort of difficult, but I think I'm gonna go with Look Lazy because he has a really nice team, and let me tell you, like, losing in the first week doesn't mean anything. Like, I've seen so many teams lose in the first week, and then I go, well, that's basically them out of the season, I shouldn't worry about them because
it's very early days.
And then they come and they get like second, or like something like that. So I'm gonna go with Look Lazy.
He's also you're also like the clan leader and should really support clan members wherever you can. So,
of course.
Yeah. It's all good. I mean, he picked me and the other div, so it's all good. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm trying to think if we've got anything else we need to do, and I don't think so.
No. Half the time of our other recap. That's what's so nice about doing
we did have a lot less skills to talk about though.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we'll go over the played games next week. We'll go over all of them at the same time. Thinking Thursdays probably. Thursday evenings is when you can expect the recaps to be up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Maybe the Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday if we.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see. I've been Gunnerside with my co-caster Lozra. We'll see you all next week.